Hello everyone, welcome back to CSE Core Concepts in my series of machine learning algorithms. In this video, I am going to focus on a very popular problem for a good machine learning model is the curse of dimensionality. Let us first understand what do we mean by a curse of dimensionality. First of all, what is a dimension? It is the number of input variables features for a data set. Okay, so if you are a statistician, you will use a value, use the term variable. If you are using data warehouses, you will use the term features, right? And here you can use the term dimensions. So attribute, if you are using database system, you can use the term database. Okay, so this way you can use the term interchangeably, but ultimately the meaning is that something which describes your object, that is a dimension. Now there can be any number of features in a data set. Okay, you can have 1 attribute, 2 attribute, 10 attribute. Now to reduce the number of input variables is referred as dimensionality reduction. Okay, I have to reduce the number of dimensions. Now data set is trained and we get a trained model as an output. Now consider, let us say for example, I have some training data and I have 1000 dimensions. It can happen. Let's say a patient's records. Okay, in a hospital. Now, a patient's record, how many attributes they can have? Let's say the patient's name. For that also can be broken as the first name, middle name, last name, patient's phone number, email address, then its postal address in terms of street name, area, etc. All these personal details. Then let us come to the medical details. Its blood group. Okay, then suppose he has done a lot of tests, let's say triglyceride, its triglyceride levels for each and every test, its uric acid levels, then its let's say diabetes levels, its heart problems, every detail is being stored. He has undergone 5 ECGs, so all ECG report. So if you combine all of them, his height, his weight, his past medical history, whether he has undergone any surgery or not, what type of medicines has been given to him. Okay, so you can imagine so many attributes are being found. Okay, now let's say for example, I just want to figure out how many patients of a certain age may get diabetes. Let's say I am talking about a range, let's say 35 to 45. Okay, and I want the model to predict that how many people will from this range, not how many, means how much likely they are going to get the diabetes based on their data. Now I have more than 100 dimensions here, right? 100 details I have stored for each and every patient. Now, do I require every detail? Do I require his postal address for predicting whether he will get diabetes or not? No. Do I require his phone number to predict? No. What I require most is his blood sugar level, urine sugar level, his other factors which are responsible for diabetes. That's all, right? His weight, his height, ratio. That's all I want, right? So if I am training a model with all 100 attributes, including his phone number and street address and everything, will that model will perform well? I don't think so, because the model will get confused, right? A person's phone number starting with 9 or 8 does not care whether he will have diabetes or not. I hope you are getting me. So unnecessarily confusing the model means what? It will give me wrong results while testing it. The accuracy will suffer. Understood? So let's say for example, a experiment has been performed where in a data set there are 1000, let's say 1000 attributes, right? One model was created using only 2 attributes, right? Second model was using only 5 attributes out of 1000. Third model used 8 attributes, 8 dimensions. Okay. Fourth model used 10. Fifth used 15. Then sixth model drastically increased the number of dimensions. It performed the testing and training using 100 dimensions. And the last model did using 1000 dimension. All the models aim is that is same for all. That is, you want to generate a model which will give you more predictive results. Okay, so the number of features used to generate the model you are increasing. Okay, it is assumed that you are assuming that if I give more features, if I explain more to the model, I will get more accurate results and with very less error rate. Well, so here we can assume that the error of model M1 is more compared to M2 because M1 is using only 2 features, right? M2 is using 5 features. So I assume generally we have a assumption that model M1 will give me more errors as it will not understand properly since it is using only 2 dimensions. Similarly, there will be error more in M2 as compared to M3. This is what we are predicting. Okay, will adding more features will increase the accuracy? This is not true. Okay, it is true up to a certain threshold. As I said, underfitting is also not good. Only 2 features, only PPBS and your FBS will not determine whether he will surely have diabetes or not. Okay, little more data is also required. Okay, so only very less data means the model will perform underfitting. But too many, if you are using, that will provide overfitting, right? So you have to find out a threshold that up to how much amount of dimensions are required, which is giving me more accuracy of the model. Let's say the threshold is 15. So if I am saying 15, then which model will give me the best results? M5 will give me the best results because M5 is using 15 dimensions and M6 is suddenly jumping from 15 to 100, right? So this is because M6 and M7 increases exponentially and it is very much likely that all attributes do not have an importance. Okay, so those attributes which do not have an importance, they will confuse the model. The model fails to classify, yes, but if I am doing a prediction based on a certain region, okay, whether what is the likelihood that the people of this region will get more diabetes, then of course that address and that region is required, understood. But if I am only predicting based on their medical history and their height and weight, then those areas are not required. So you have to understand what is the type of prediction you are doing. So this graph explains that. You can see in this graph that up to a certain level, okay, so you are starting from 0 dimensions, okay, you are not using any dimensions. As the number of dimensions you are increasing, slowly the graph is increasing, right? So this is accuracy, okay, this is the performance, this is the number of dimensions and this is the performance, right? So you can see the accuracy here, the performance is peak over here somewhere around this number of dimensions. And again, when you are increasing the number of dimensions, the accuracy is falling, right? And the more the number of dimensions you have, the accuracy is almost again going to be falling and it is going to get 0, right? So the accuracy is highest at this level. So the model for detecting whether the object is a chocolate or not, let's say, right? Or not, it has trained with following features. Training data was KitKat. So if I am taking a chocolate as a KitKat, so I am using 4 features to define the object as a chocolate. Shape. So it has to be rectangular in shape. Eating, yes. Whether it is eatable, yes. Length is, let's say, approximately 10 centimeters. And wrapper color is red. Okay. So if you are, this is a training you have done. Now while testing, if you are providing a dairy milk, then feature matching will done like this. Shape rectangular, okay, done. Eatable, yes. If the above 2 features are only given, then dairy milk will be correctly identified as chocolate. But if it is trying to, if 2 more features are added, not necessarily an object of 10 centimeter which is eatable has to be a chocolate, or a chocolate has to be only 10 centimeter, right? Or a wrapper color with red has to be a chocolate, right? So these 2 features are unnecessary features which are confusing the model, right? So if you are using these 2 features, then your testing data will fail. Okay, so you, out of these 4 dimensions, how many are useful? Only the first 2 are useful. Then also I will say that rectangular might not be. Okay, because, okay, if you are asking for a Cadbury type, then it's maybe fine. Okay. So in this case, the length and wrapper color are not the required feature since the chocolates can be of various size and can have different wrapper colors. So if you are adding these two features, then the model will get confused and hence the accuracy will decrease, and if the accuracy decreases, the error rate increases. So here the feature threshold is how many? Two features only: shape of the object and whether it is eatable or not. Okay, I hope I was able to explain you what is the curse of dimensionality. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to CSE Core Concepts for more such useful videos. Thank you.